today we're going to be talking about one of my personal objectives, which is to complete tabletop projects. Now, what do I mean by this? I don't just mean painting Warhammer as you might see in the actual thumbnail. I'm talking about everything to do with, maybe it's putting your games room together. Maybe it's finishing laying it out how you want. Maybe it's sleeving all the cards in your collection. Maybe it's painting all the miniatures in your favourite board game. Maybe it's assembling the scenery you want, or you're designing. Or maybe it's just bringing your campaigns that you're playing to its conclusion. I love completing projects, and I've completed a number over these recent years, and I intend to continue on this trajectory. I want to finish projects. I want to bring things to their conclusion. I don't want things to drag on forever. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. I think it's beneficial for people to complete what they start, finish what they start, and not just leave things hanging. Now, obviously, there's circumstances where you might not be able to do that, but I feel there is a massive sense of reward when you bring a project to its completion. Whether it be painting your army, whether it be putting your games room together, whatever that project is, there is a sense of accomplishment and reward for finishing it. And I think more people should aim to finish the things they start. So, let's get into today. So from my personal experience, there are many things that I've finished, but I have way too many projects I need to complete. So, for example, the things I have outstanding, I have numerous miniature board games in my collection, and I want them painted. So this is not just, obviously, for miniature war games. This is board games. I want all of the miniatures painted in them. I've got huge board games with countless miniatures that need painted. So things like Mansions of Madness. I've got Doom, both Witcher and Skyrim. A whole host of miniatures in the Batman Gotham Chronicles that still need finishing. I have all my Zombicides, on and on and on. There's so many games and I want them painted. I don't want them to just be grey plastic. I actually want to finish these projects. It is my ambition to complete them. And I know that when I do finish them, I'm going to have a huge sense of reward. Now, this is a problem with having too many projects too. If you're someone who wants to achieve these things, you need to have realistic goals. So we'll start with, obviously, how many projects you should have. This depends on how committed you are, really. But if you're invested enough that you're willing to get these things finished, paint your armies, put your games room together, sort out everything you need to. If you're willing to dedicate the time, then having a number of projects is all right. When you're getting to the level where I'm very close to, where I'm being overwhelmed with how much I need to do, that's a different matter. And what will happen is you'll lose motivation. You won't feel like you're getting anywhere. You won't feel like you're making any progress. And so you'll stall, or maybe even just stop altogether. So you need to make sure that you're not overloading yourself too. Make sure you have a reasonable amount of projects on the go, ones that are manageable. Now, for me, there's so many I've completed. I've painted all the original Hero Quest in the box I have. I have completed painting all of The Thing, the board game, from Pendragon, I believe. I've painted this army of Trinids, which you can see. I've painted an army of orcs. I've painted a whole host of demons of chaos, numerous Warhammer factions. I'm working my way through the Ankh board game. I want it absolutely completed because I love the look, the Egyptian theme. I love all of that game. And that's been work in progress for quite some time. I'm working my way through Oathsworn. I've painted almost all of the heroes. Then I'll be moving on to the monsters. I want to finish painting Monster Hunter. I'm partway through that. Batman Gotham City Chronicles, I've made a huge headway into that, but it still needs finishing. I've got so many projects on the go, see? Sometimes it can feel a little overwhelming for me, but I want to finish these projects. And I do get a lot of satisfaction when I bring them to their completion. And that's just really what this little chat about is today. It's good to finish your projects. It's good to make progress and make sure that you feel like you're getting somewhere. Because if you don't, then it's going to be a never-ending cycle of never completing anything. The satisfaction I got when I finished putting all of my games room together for the first time, when I moved into the property and finished putting all the cupboards up and the room was full and all the shelves were full, I felt like I'd accomplished a milestone in my life that I never thought was going to ever be complete. And I was so happy. It was such a nice feeling to finish that. And then, of course, obviously, I like playing the odd war game here and there. I wanted to have my own battle boards that we could put our armies on and play the games on. I didn't want to just play it on the table with a very fine mat or a board. So I made my own gaming boards. I flocked them after I'd sealed them and prepped them and got them sorted, and then put down the adhesive spray on top to seal the top. It was a project that I enjoyed bringing to its conclusion, and then I got the satisfaction and reward of using them for games. And this is exactly why I want you guys to see the benefits of actually completing the projects you set yourself. Don't go too far, don't go too high, don't give yourself too much work. Make it realistic targets, because when you do complete them, there's a lot of satisfaction from that. And then what you do is you jump onto the next project and finish that. Myself, I feel I have too many. That's why one of the reasons is I need to stop buying games. I need to cut back. I need to stop buying more miniature board games and adding to the backlog of work. And so I don't want you to fall into the same pitfalls, the same issues that I have run into recently, where you feel overwhelmed and you feel a bit downbeat and less motivated because you don't feel like you're getting anywhere. This Trinid army which is pictured in the thumbnail, is one that really motivated me and got me going again. Why? Because it was an easy scheme. Tricky because of the red. The red was really awkward on the white. I really hated that. But it was an easy scheme, so effective. It looked so nice. So I was able to paint entire units in half the time I would something else with more detail, like an Ankh God, where I was putting all the effort in. Very happy with that. And it brought my motivation back up, seeing how quickly I brought that project to its conclusion. And obviously, with painting, I'm continuously learning, so I'm getting better and better, and then I bring those skills into the next thing. Finishing the board game, and the Hero Quest many years ago. Finishing painting the Star Wars Legion, Clone Wars. All of these have been successive things that have brought me great satisfaction upon completion. And I want more of that. I want more of that success. I need more drive. I need to work harder. I need to get these things completed. And I want a games room where every single game in there is painted. That is one of my ambitions. And it's good to have an ambition too. Have a target, an overall objective. Not just what projects are you doing, but what's your ultimate aim? What are you aiming to accomplish? Is it to finish the games room layout and get it all lit up with lights and organized on the shelves in the way you want, etc.? Whatever your end goal is, it's good to have that ambition, yeah? That drive towards, that measure towards your success. And for me, mine is a huge ambition. So it's not going to be a quick thing for me. I've got so many board games to fully paint up, so many miniature armies I need to catch up on. And part of the not buying new games will hopefully help me achieve that target. My shelf of shame, as they call it, is going down drastically a lot. I want all my games. One of the projects is to play all the games and make a decision whether it's leaving or staying. Well, we're making sufficient headway into that. I'm pretty proud of what we've done. And then on top of that, my pile of sprue, that, I don't know what you would call it, shelf of unmade minis. Yeah, it's going down a lot. I've put a lot of effort in recent years, assembling, going my way through the backlog, assembling everything, putting everything together. I have no intention of leaving it on the sprues. It's just in the way. It's just another obstacle. I want them finished, assembled, and then I can paint them and then put them away where I want them. So I have many projects on the go. I have my ambition, I have my drive, and if I continue to complete projects along the way as I'm going, it will continue to motivate me to move on to the next one and complete the next one, and vice versa until I reach my ultimate ambition. And that's the main thing of today. Like I said to you earlier, I want you to understand that completing a project is a milestone you should all enjoy when you get there. You should all feel some reward from an accomplishment. Because whatever it is, whether you finished your games room, you get to enjoy it. Whether you finish painting your army and you can take that to tournaments and play against your opponents or your friends at your local centre. Whether it's just organising your collection or building that terrain piece that you really wanted to create. It's something you should strive for. There's nothing worse than leaving things half finished. If you can complete them, try and do it. Yeah, I'll show you a whole plethora of pictures from various projects that I've completed, and there's many more that I want to. Now, for me, what am I on with now? Yeah, there's so many Warhammer armies, so many outstanding jobs. What I do is I essentially just throw a load on a board, and then just whatever I fancy painting, I get on with that. And that's another important factor, I think, as well, is you shouldn't just do one project. Unless you're 100% motivated and you're just going to focus solely on that project from start to finish, and you can dedicate your personal time and thought to that one project, then that's fair enough. I do find I might get bored of something, or I might need to do something different. And so having a variety of different things on the go at the same time means I can leapfrog from one to another. Maybe I'm fed up of painting Space Marines. Maybe I just fancy painting Sandman out of the Batman board game. Or maybe I fancy painting a monster out of Monster Hunter and doing something different. Maybe it's entire new schemes and colours, you know? And it's the same with whatever your projects may be. Maybe you're building some terrain. Maybe you've spent ages building this bridge. Maybe you should just build something small to the side as a little side project, just to do something different, offer you some variety. And then you're not getting bored doing the same thing continuously. So it is good to complete your projects, but also you must understand that you can fall foul. You can lose motivation. You can get bored. You can be turned off by it. If you spend too much time on it, maybe having a little variety and leapfrogging from one thing to another might be a good attitude and a good perspective, because for me that definitely works. I can think of countless times I've been painting where I've got bored of something and I was at the point of just going and playing on the console all the time instead of painting. But because I was able to leapfrog onto a different thing, paint maybe an entirely different scheme or model or game, it gave me that variety, that spice of life that I dearly needed. And so that's another thing to bear in mind. So I don't think there's much more to say. I hope you've enjoyed all of this discussion. But the main thing I want to get across is just try and complete things if you can. You'll have that sense of reward and satisfaction that I think you deserve to get. And it will then move you on and motivate you on to the next project, seeing how well you've completed that one. Now you can do the next thing. Because so many people leave things unfinished or half done. I mean, how many times have you seen an army on, for example, a miniatures army on eBay, and only 2 or 3 of the miniatures are painted? Or one of them is painted astronomically well, but it wasn't finished. People obviously weren't motivated or dedicated enough to finish them. Maybe they were overloaded with other tasks. Maybe they just lost interest. Who knows? But if you make your goals and your work manageable, then you can achieve them. Personally, I think that's what you should aim and strive to do. I want to maximize my use out of this hobby. I want all of my games and miniatures painted in that games room. That is an ambition, a goal, and I want to accomplish it. Whether I do it is a different matter, but I'm striving to get there. And I know that every step along the way where I achieve one of these goals, one of these specific checkpoints, in this case, the recent one painting this Trinid army, has really motivated me and encouraged me to keep pushing onwards. Let people know, what projects are you working on? What projects are you enjoying? How long do you take on your projects? What do you like? Do you like painting? Are you working on designing the layout of your games room? Are you doing something totally unrelated to tabletop gaming? Are you designing some scenery? Are you painting some masterpiece? Are you assembling some really cool custom mini or diorama? Let people know what you're on with, what you like. Do you enjoy completing projects the same way that I do? Do you have that satisfaction? Do you have that sense of reward when you accomplish them? Let people know down in the comments and we'll get some discussions going. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Please leave a like, hit the subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.